Hello friends, welcome back. It's a new day with a new video. Here I am back again. Last couple of days we have been talking about reactions, and yesterday we talked about why reactions happen and what we can do with the help of those 4 questions. I hope you tried in different situations, and if not yet, I would say go back to the video again, listen to that carefully and try again. But today we'll go a little further with this thing about reactions because it's very important, I believe. You see, I was going through some of the messages that you have posted with the help of Google Translate in the messages you posted in Facebook group, and I found there is some pattern. Some people, or at least Google Translate, that's how it showed me that some of you are still looking for how not to have these reactions, right? So let me tell you the good news that it's possible, 100% possible, that we will not react at all to what is happening around us. And trust me, this is not a privilege of one person. This is not a privilege of some spiritual master or some psychologist. For each of us, it is absolutely possible to reach the state of complete non-reaction. And we all will reach that state when we are dead. That's correct. You see, it is only a dead body or a dead object which will not react to the surroundings. As long as you are alive, to be alive means to interact with the world, to interact with what is happening around us, and that interaction is reaction. Now I know if you have read some spiritual books or some wise psychologist books or self-development literature, you could tell me that yes, but there is a difference between reaction and response. A reaction is an automatic thing. A response is a conscious choice to respond to the situation. And what we want is not a reaction but a response. I know I can give a couple of hours lecture over the difference between reaction and response, but that wouldn't change anything. Whether you call it a reaction or a response, this is our way of interacting with the world around us and with what is happening around us. And as long as we stay alive, we will continue to do that. So, the question here is not why do we have reactions or how to stop the reactions, because reactions are compulsory. You will always have, unless someone goes into coma or is dead, there will always be reactions. So the question here is, not the question, but rather the problem here is not reaction. The problem here is the kind of reaction that we have. Most often, our reactions, why we don't want this kind of reactions, because these reactions take away our peace. And what we want is what you call a productive reaction or a positive response to a situation is simply a reaction which is still an interaction with the world around us, but it is without taking away the peace as our base state. So we want to interact with the world, but we don't want to lose the peace. That is what we want, isn't it? So let's look at the core of the matter now. To be alive means to respond to the world around us. And the reason we react or respond in whatever way it is, but the reason why we do that is because the subconscious is trying to get something which is very important to us by that reaction. For example, think of a reaction, a phobic reaction. Let's say phobia, right? Like I know different people, many people have different kinds of phobias. Some people have the phobia of elevators. Some people have phobia of flying in the aeroplanes. Some people have phobia of dogs, So what is the difference between I mean, there is a difference between those who have phobia and those who have no phobic reaction. The people who have phobic reactions, whenever the trigger comes, the trigger, kind of creates an intense reaction in them. But do we question why is there this reaction? You see, the phobic reaction is also the subconscious, our subconscious trying to keep us safe. For some reason, people who do not have the phobic reactions, they don't see this way as a way of keeping themselves safe. For the people who have phobic reactions, like people who have phobia of flying, whenever they sit in the fly, the hands get wet, the mouth gets dry, and they are constantly in anxiety mode. And the reason is their mind, their body mind perceives this situation as dangerous, and that is why it is creating this reaction. Now you see, yesterday we talked about it, that whatever the mind perceives, body will react to it, right? So if the questions that I shared with you yesterday, if they would work for you, you would not need to go further. But let's say if they didn't work, then what? So that is what today's topic about. That the phobic reaction is body mind's mechanism to try to keep us safe. Now you might say then, okay, fine, phobia is that, but what about anger? What about frustration? What about rage? People react with that. But even anger or rage or frustration, these are also reactions when the subconscious is trying to get something. For example, when you become angry, suddenly something goes wrong. That is the key. Something went wrong. Usually people get angry when something goes wrong. That's because the subconscious is afraid that this is going wrong and it needs to be corrected. Now, so the problem is not in the fact that there are reactions. The problem is in the kind of reactions. Now let me say how the situation is. I have a friend, and I know, you have heard by now a lot about my different friends. So this is another friend. This is something about early 1990s, very early of 1990, like 1992, 93 kind of period. So my friend, he just had started dating a girl, like he was in a relationship with a girl. But in India, it's very difficult if you are from different caste, so the parents would not agree. So they would need to meet without anyone knowing, and this was 1990s early, so there were no cell phones. So what my friend would do is, he would go to the girl's place and home. It was a house, and in India we use a lot of concrete and stones. We don't use a lot of wood and glass as you use in Europe. So my friend would pick up a small stone and he would throw at the door of the balcony. So the girl would know that, okay, someone is here, she will check, and then she will find a reason to go out, because my friend couldn't go enter his home and tell that, come on, let's go out, because parents would not allow, because they were from different castes. Now, that was fine. It worked, that was fine. But imagine that today I invite, let's say I live in a house where there are glasses, a lot of glasses. Now today I invite my friend, let's say come over on Saturday for breakfast, we'll have breakfast together. Now he comes to my place, he stands outside and all the doors are closed because I'm working in the kitchen, all the windows are closed. Now my friend comes, stands outside and he screams my name couple of times, Dhruv, come on, I'm here. And let's say I don't come because I don't hear, I'm working in kitchen, there are sounds and the windows are closed. So now my friend takes up a piece of stone and throws at the glass window. The glass breaks, I react to it, I jump outside to see what's wrong, and then I see my friend and he is there smiling and laughing. So finally, you see, I got you, you came outside. Now it looks so foolish, isn't it? Like to call me outside, he would throw a stone which would break my window so that I would hear and I would come out. It looks very foolish. And it worked for him in the past when he was young, right? But today, he could have simply come and pressed the doorbell and I would have opened. There was no necessity to throw the stone again. Our reactions are exactly the same. Just as my friend, for him it was important that I come out and take him inside. I opened the door for him. It was important. In the same manner, our reactions are also something important that we are trying to get. But like my friend, for whom something worked in the past, but he is still hanging on to that even now after he has grown up. So our reactions, what they are they may have worked when we were a child, like to be in panic, to be angry, because maybe when we were children we didn't have alternatives. We didn't see we were not flexible enough to see different approaches. Unfortunately, we are like that guy. Every time we react with anger, fear, phobia, anxiety, panic, frustration, rage, all of these are trying to throw a stone on the window to catch the attention of someone to open the door. You don't need to do that any longer. As long as you know there is a doorbell, you press the doorbell, someone will come and open. But it's more easy when you listen to that. It's more difficult when you try to apply it into your life, because this cannot be changed overnight consciously. The problem, these reactions, they are automatic, and automatic reactions are always subconscious. They are coming from the subconscious level. So we have got to do something. We have got to teach ourselves how to press the doorbell instead of throwing the stone all the time now. It's possible, and that is the point of today's video. I am going to share with you how you can do that, how you can teach yourself to produce productive reactions, or at least reactions which will not take away your calmness and your peace. Let's see how we can do that. I think all of you have read a lot about how subconscious mind works, and so I will not go into detail of that. Probably there is a lot of material around, you already know, so there is no need to go there. But I will just say in a nutshell that subconscious mind is like a record player. Now, if there is a record player, the job of the record player is to play the record. Now, if you put a record which has on it very nice mantras, which will clean the environment and soothe your body, mind and soul, the record player will play those mantras. If you put some a record with this like rap music with lots of bad and cuss words, like Eminem kind of, the record player will play that also. For the record player, it is not important the content of what it is playing. The records player's job is simply to play the record. The subconscious mind is exactly like that. It doesn't matter for the subconscious what kind of reactions it will play. As long as there is a record, a particular record, it will play that reaction. The good news is you don't have to get stuck with some music that you don't like. You can change that record, and that is what is the process that I want to share with you today about how to change the records of the counterproductive reactions and instead replace them with productive reactions which are more calmer. Now, at this stage, I will tell you that I don't know what are productive reactions for you, because for everyone the productive reaction could be different. So I'm not going to tell you that the reaction should be like this or reaction should be like that. Instead, we leave that on the subconscious, because subconscious has something else also which is more than record player, that if you give the exact instructions, it can not only play, it can also search the right one for you. So how do we do that? Uh, well, you will need to sit in a very relaxed position. The best position whenever I want to connect with the subconscious, go deeper inside, I find when I am sitting straight but back is supported. Because this is not meditation. So don't keep you don't have to give a lot of pressure on your back by holding it unsupported for a long time. So you can, if you have a bed, then better to let your back be supported on the corner of the wall, and then to spread the legs and to let all both of these hands on the sides with closed eyes. I am also sure that you must know a little bit about progressive relaxation techniques. There are so many of them. Simply saying, try to focus on each part of your body one by one and simply relax it. Just saying the words inside, relax, I let go of all the stress and tension, that itself is enough to relax that. If there will be a demand for this later, people could write in the group, I can create a perfect script for that, for the entire relaxation process. For now, I am not giving the script, I am leaving it on you. So once you have relaxed totally, and when your breath has also settled down fully, that is the time that you ask your subconscious that, my subconscious, I am willing to communicate with you, and when you are ready, give me a sign in my left palm, like maybe you could choose your sign that give some twitching sensations in my first finger, or lift my first finger a little bit, and you will be amazed. After few, it could be in few seconds or few minutes, you will notice some sensation in your whatever part you have chosen. So that is a sign that your subconscious is ready to be connected with your conscious now, and a conscious dialogue between you and your subconscious can be done at this moment. So once you are there, you can communicate to your subconscious as if your subconscious is a real live person, as if it is another person who can talk to you, or rather who can listen to you. And trust me, subconscious is as much alive as we are, as our conscious is, and it listens and it responds. So when your subconscious has already given you a sign that it's ready for the communication, that is when you can now begin this conversation that in XYZ situations, I become angry, I react with anger, or whatever is your reaction. You can choose any reaction. You can choose to work on one particular reaction in one particular session. Don't mix everything together. So let's say we are taking, for example, anger. Like, I react with anger in certain situations, and I know that anger is not productive for me. It raises my blood pressure, it raises my heartbeats, and it kind of disturbs my peace. Like, it is not good for my body, it is not good for my mind. And I know that you are trying to get something very important for me, so I sincerely appreciate what you are trying to do. I want you to help me get what is here. I know you are trying to get me correct something, because that's why I was angry. Something went wrong, so I know you are trying to help me to get it right. But I am asking you to produce a response or a reaction where which does not require anger. I want you to produce a response or a reaction which maintains my peace and calm. I want you to keep me conscious in that moment, so that I could see the situation and find out what could be done about it. Instead of reacting, I want to know what could be done about it and how I can change that. So that's it actually. This process will kind of create a new record in your subconscious, wiping away the old record. It's like the USB you have, you know, MP3 in cars you play, you already have some old songs. But now you go there, you delete the old, you put the new songs, and then when you put the USB in your car, the new song will play. But for the best results, I would say that this process should be on one particular reaction. This same process should be repeated at least 6 times. But this 6 times could be, give about 24 hours of gap between each of this session. Like if you're done in the morning today, you can do it tomorrow morning or tomorrow evening. Minimum 24 hours of gap give between these 2 sessions. And after you have done it for 6 times, it's enough that it will have, return the record perfectly, and then you will see how, how you will respond to different situations. Now, the good news is that you can work with multiple things. Let's say in the morning you are working with the reactions of anger, in the evening you are working with the reactions of fear, and then again you repeat it next morning, anger, and next evening. So you can work in one day with two different reactions. If you continue this process over a period of several months, you will notice that you have replaced majority of the unconscious counterproductive reactions with productive reactions and rather conscious responses. So this process will be useful for us when we know that it is not possible to completely eradicate reactions from our life, because as long as we are living, we are going to react. And if we are going to react, then why not react in a positive manner? Why not react with peace? Why not respond with peace to a situation? I hope this video will help you, and that will be all from me today. Hope to see you tomorrow with a new video. Until then, have a great day. Thank you very much.